All right, in this video I want to talk about Dudley OGs and 2.0s. And I want to tell you guys what we think about the bat, what we think about the price gouging that's going on right now, how we determine if the bat is good whenever buying used ones, and basically give you a little information, like a summary of the Dudley originals. They were made 6 years ago. The first OGs that came out, I think it was a little over 6 years ago. Probably one of the, at the time, the best bat ever made. I actually called it a game changer back then on one of my videos that we were doing. And I'm just going to give you a little history on what I was talking to Billy. If you see the behind the scenes video, we talk about why did we ever get away from them? Why did we ever stop using those bats? Well, when we first started swinging, both of us swung the OG. Bubba really wasn't into it. He wasn't into seniors back then, not yet. Just getting into it. So Billy swung a 27 ounce. I swung a 27 ounce. You can see the old videos of me swinging a 27 ounce OG. And I asked Billy the other day, I said, well, how do we get away from this bat? And what happened was they quit making them. Only a few people out there, and they sold out. And we went up to the 2.0 and started swinging it. And whenever you grab something and start swinging it, you always, especially when you get used to it, and it's almost, the performance is almost as good as the original. You kind of leave the original away. You don't pursue it anymore. And then you start swinging like the 2.0s. Well, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, well, they quit making those. They went on to another lift. There's a big, long story about why they quit making these bats, and it's made a lot of politics in that too. So what happened was they changed factories. Long story short, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but long story short, they changed factories and went to another factory. Dudley did. They couldn't manufacture the OGs or 2.0s in that same factory, so they left that factory. Well, now they're hard to find, and a lot of people are doing some price gouging. And I had said in a video that even in the message board on Facebook, I had asked, because I want to start swinging these bats again. I want to get back to where I was swinging them years ago, and I kind of forgot about them and got away from them. And I'm not saying they're the greatest, well, kind of the greatest, but they're a little step above, my opinion, the Suncoast that I have ranked #1, the Johnny Bailey, ranked #4, I think. The DeMarinis are ranked up there too, and then the Adidas from 2 years ago, which they're not making anymore. So what I want to talk about is I think there's reasons why I think they're a little bit better than those bats, and I can get into that too. But basically, the reason that I think that they're a little better, and I have a couple sitting here that I want to show you, is this. A long story short is the rubberized, not the rubberized, but the sticky finish. And I've talked about this in numerous videos. The reason that I think they're a little bit better than those bats is mainly because of the sticky finish. Not necessarily because they grab the ball, because I'm a cutter, so I cut the ball. Not necessarily because they grab the ball and they spin a little better for you. That's not really the big one. The big one is that they have weight in it. Like these bats will have weight all the way in here, because they add that little, anything you add to the outside layer is going to help with weight. So they have that extra weight right in here to more mass on the end. So that's a little bit better. I'm not saying they're tremendously better than the Suncoast, just a little bit better. And I don't know if you know this or not, but the guy that invented, the guy that designed these bats are the same ones that did the Reeboks from years ago, and then he went over to Adidas, and then he went over to Dudley, Adidas, and then now he's with Suncoast. I've talked to him a long time at Vegas. Pissed my wife off because I talked to him so much. We were kind of bouncing stuff back and forth of each other. Guy knows his shit. And I can get into the reason why I think the way his theory is like Blake. I call it the Blake theory. He has that same theory. The way Blake talked about bats back in the 80s. So he has that same mindset that Blake had back in the 80s. So what I want to go through in this video is kind of talk about what makes a reissued a reissued. Well, how can you tell what a reissued is? I'm going to kind of show you this. And then I'm going to talk about, let me talk about that first. For one, to my knowledge, this is just to my knowledge, the only reissued bats, okay, are these bats right here, the 2.0s. They reissued those. All right. That's the, to my knowledge, that's the only bat out of all the Dudleys that they reissued. They didn't reissue these. Okay. They didn't reissue the 13-inch OG, the balanced OG. They did not reissue the 13-inch 2.0. They did not reissue the 13-inch balanced bats. The only ones that they reissued were these. Now, the reissued, this is actually original, guys. The reissued is not as good. It's a little step, it's not like a big step. It's a little step below the performance-wise, for one, and longevity. These bats right here, I'm saying 1,500 to 2,000 swings. This one right here, Billy got 4,000 on one of his. I got 3,000 on one of mine. 3,500 on another one. So you're getting well over 2,000 swings on these bats. Okay, this is an OG. These bats, they call it the 2.0. And what I think, what they did to this bat, this is just me, I haven't talked to anybody. I think they have the Kevlar is a little different in this bat than those bats over there. So I think it's got a little bit better, it's stiffer barrel. This is a little bit stiffer barrel. The barrel and the OGs are a little bit softer, so you older guys gonna love the bat. I think you 40-year-olds coming in and starting to buy those OGs, I think you're gonna kind of think, especially if you're not a cutter, if you're a square ball hitter, you're gonna kind of think the bat sucks, because the bat's not working for you, the barrel's not working for you because it's too soft, especially after you hit it about 1,000 times. A lot of you older guys are gonna like these bats. Now, your 40-year-old guy is going to love this bat a little bit better because the barrel's a little bit, guys, a little bit stiffer in the barrel than this bat. Now, this one, the way you can tell which one, I got this question quite a bit. The way you can tell if it's an OG is the serial number. You see it has a serial number on it. Every reissued that I have gotten has not had a serial number on it. And another thing too, this is a fairly new one. It'll have, a lot of the OGs will have, it'll be all tore up in the end. You know, from sliding it around, throwing it on the ground, it actually loses a lot of the paint right here. And then your knob will have a lot of, it's white underneath there. So it'll be white, your knob will be all tore up. But mainly the serial number. If it has a serial number, it's an OG. I'm gonna talk about pricing on these bats here too in a minute, what happens to them. Like I was talking about, on these bats, they did not reissue these. So every bat out there that you guys see, the only ones they reissued, like I talked about, is the 2.0 12-inch Dudleys, and that was only a one-time run. That's it. They're not going to do that again. Let me talk about the pricing first of the reissued bats. A lot of you guys are out there selling those bats for over $200. $200 is pushing it, in my opinion. Somebody tried selling me one the other day for $250 for a reissued bat, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that much money for a bat that's going to crack under 1,000 swings, because we were getting anywhere from, I'm saying, 500 to 1,000 swings on them. That's us. So me and Billy, not Bubba, me and Billy. Bubba would probably get 400, 300 swings on them, and then they would blow up, and they're nasty when they blow up. I mean, they're not even close to being, the carbon's not even close to being the same as the originals, the OGs. Now, I'll talk about this bat. A lot of you guys are talking about, and here's the problem. There are not a lot of new ones out there when it comes to these. Even this one is probably one of the newest ones that are out there. This is a 26 ounce. I got it the other day. Now, the way to find out from these bats I'm talking about the OGs, I'm not talking about the reissued, is they will get stress fractures in them, and you can see them when you got it out in the sun, and they'll have a reflection, and you can see it really good when it's in the Dudley. You can see little stress fractures. Now, the bigger the stress fracture, the less the bat's been hit. Now, if you got a lot of small stress fractures, a lot of them in there, mean you got up to 1,000 swings on the bat. So I'm just saying average, 1,000 swings on the bat. And mainly the way I do is to gauge a bat is the stress fractures. And they got to be big. Like, they can be within this area, means the bat's not really that much broke in, because when you start getting them wider, like in this area, and you get stress fractures all the way through the Dudley from the D to the Y, that means that bat's well broke in, because it flexes. It's flexing the barrel, because whenever you first start swinging a bat in BP, it actually, stress fracture will start in the middle and it'll kind of go out the more you hit it. So if you got a big area that's got stress fractures on it, means the bat's well broke in. It's probably got 1,000 swings on it. The price should go down. Now, it's the way you gauge this, and a lot of guys are out there gouging people, want $250 for this bat, $225 for this bat. That's my wife. $250 for this bat, and it's all beat up. It's got stress fractures from front to back, and you're not gonna pay $250 for a bat. You probably get 400 or 500 swings on it if it's got over 1,000, if you even think it's got over 1,000. So it's kind of weird what people are doing out there. Now, I was asked, would you pay $350 for an original OG? This is an original OG, new, brand new. You can see it, brand new. It's actually fresh out of the wrapper, and it has nothing on it. No ball marks, nothing. It's got the sticky stuff, a little bit of the sticky stuff, which you can't feel right now, but if you take a cloth and you clean all that stuff off, it'll come back all the way down to the end. This is an original. All right, would I pay $350 for it? Hell yes, I would. And the reason that I said I'm not giving up my firstborn to get this bat, because a lot of you guys were trying to sell these bats used for $350 to $400. I am not paying $350 to $400 on a used Dudley. No effing way I would do that, because I don't know how many swings it's got on it. It could have 2,000 swings on it, and you're asking me to pay $350 for it. No, I'm not. The reason that I paid $350 for this brand new bat was this. It's going to last twice as long, maybe 3 times as long as any bat on my top 10 other than the Mike McCarran and the Bobby Nifong. Okay, it's a softer barrel than the Bobby Nifong, and it's a softer barrel than the Mike McCarran. That's the reason I paid that much money for it, because I can swing this bat right now, and it'll take 2 years for me to crack this bat. I think $350 is a great investment, up to $400. That's all I would pay. I would try to get him down to $350, but I felt good paying $350 for the bat because of the longevity of the bat and the performance. That's the only reason I would pay that kind of money for a brand new bat. Now, these right here, this is one that I actually hit BP in. You guys can see it. It's all tore up on the end knob. It's got, these really don't have that much scraping on the end of the end cap, and I have my numbers on it right there that I put on it. I use this bat in BP. You can see me. I've used this bat since I got it about 2 months ago, and I've used it in every BP session. Have not cracked it. I'm guessing, this is my number, I'm guessing this bat has 1,500 swings on it. Okay, if I take it out and put it in the sun and get real close to it, I can see stress fractures all in it from here all the way down to here. Now, what would I pay for this bat? I would pay anywhere for this bat from $200 to $250, because I'm going to get about 1,000 more swings out of it. That's the reason that I look at it. I'm getting 1,000 more swings at it, and the performance is going to be there for me. Now, the compression testing on these bats could get as low as 140 on a compression tester. I know, because I've seen it on a bat that has over 3,000 swings on it. If it gets to 140, okay, that's going to be a little bit too soft for me. Maybe for a 65, 70-year-old senior, it'd be great for him, because he can compress the walls. He can compress the walls on it. So I would give it to a senior guy. I wouldn't sell it to him. I just give it to another senior bat if the barrel becomes too soft. You'll know when the barrel becomes soft because you hit those knuckleballs, or you'll square it up every once in a while, because I cut the ball. That I don't cut every ball, but I hit a ball square and I'll see that it didn't do anything, and it keeps doing that. That means I've got a lot of swings on the bat. Now, blindly going into this, I don't know how many swings I have on the bat. I cannot give you an exact number on how many swings I have on these bats. This is my prize. I'm probably not going to swing this bat this year because I've got 2 more other ones. This is the other one that I have on these bats right here. This is another one that I have. Now, this one, what somebody did was they took the stickum off of it. Okay, guys, when you have this bat, don't take the stickum off of it. This stickum has been I don't know how they got it off, but from here to here, and they didn't sand it off. They got it off from some kind of a chemical, and you can actually see that it's got stress fractures all in it, and it just doesn't. For one, if you take the stickum off of it, in my opinion, it doesn't perform as well. It still performs, but just not as well it would. And I think the longevity, you're actually taking the longevity out of it, because I think that little bit of a grip actually helps with the keeping everything tight, keeping everything compressed, keeping the carbons on there that we're not going to splinter on you. And that's just my theory on what I think. I think it adds, I'm not talking about 500 swings more. I'm just thinking it adds a little bit more life to the bat if you do not, if you don't take the stickum off of it. Just leave it like it is. A lot of you guys don't like that. I don't know why, but this one's look at it. It's all like chewed up, and I think I paid right at $200 for this one, and it's all chewed up. But then again, I hit it BP. I got my numbers on it too. I always put my numbers on my bats, and they basically weigh the same. Now these bats right here, the used one you guys are selling out there, and a lot of you guys say, I don't know how many swings I got on it, but if it's a bat like this and it's not brand new, then you got a lot of swings on it, I'm thinking. I've had guys tell me, I've got 80-year-old guy. I just got it from an 80-year-old guy. I'll sell it to you for $300. No, I'm not paying $300 for it. It's not that I don't trust you. It's that I'm not buying it brand new. Brand new, I'd pay that kind of money. Used, I'm not going to pay that kind of money. So your price range, just to get to the price range on these bats, is probably going to be around 200 to 250, maybe $275 on a used one, if it doesn't have a lot of stress fractures in it. You don't have a lot of stress fractures in it, guys, the price goes up a little bit more. I would play if one's got a lot of stress fractures in it, you're going to be 175 maybe, because you're still going to get some performance out of it, especially you older guys. If it's got a lot of stress fractures in it, 175, up to the 200 part range. Stress fractures are a little bit smaller, your sweet spot is a little bit in there like that, then the price goes up. So a lot of guys don't know how to gauge these bats, and I'm trying to give you some information on how to do it. The knob not being, because this is my brand new, and the knob not being beat up. And I actually made sure, when I was talking to this guy, you sure it's a brand new OG? Because they did not reissue the OGs. They did not do anything, only the 2.0s on this one right here. Now these right here range anywhere from 175. I'm talking used one. This is actually a newer one. 175 to around, on the used ones, probably around 200, 225. For one that's in this shape, probably around 200 to 230, 240. And they got brand new one, could go up to $300 for a brand new one. So, and the reason why I'm putting the OGs price-wise in front of these is because they last a little bit longer, 1,000 swings more. So I'll pay the money to get that 1,000 swings more. So I just wanted to clear up. A lot of you guys don't, or have these bats sitting around. I am looking for another 27 ounces. You guys want to sell me one. But I wanted to get this out there because I did pay $350 for a brand new one, and I kind of was raising hell out there going, if anybody pays $350 for an OG, but I didn't specify brand new one. I just don't think $350 is worth a used one. And especially when guys are out there, I've seen them as low as $325 for a brand new one too, in the wrapper. So they range in the wrapper, a good price for ones, $300 to $350. As much. It all depends on what you want. If you want it that bad, guys are gonna pay $400 for it. But you got to look at what you're getting. You're going to get a bat that's hot, very hot, and you're going to get a bat that lasts a long time. So that's the way you got to look at everything too. Supply and demand. I mean, it's with everything. Everybody wants one, then the price is going to go up. you don't want it. I mean, but hell, you gotta want it because it's a badass bat. It is probably the top bat I've ever swung. It's a game changer. It was a game changer back then, and I said it in video. It's a game changer back then, but I just wanted to let you guys know a little history on the 2.0s. The guy who developed them is a genius. He's got the Blake method going with him. But I've got 3 of them. I think Billy has 2 of them. I bought some for Billy, and he's got them. We're not selling them. We're not trying to get rid of them. Billy's a hoarder. You know how he is. You have guys seen those behind the scene videos. He's going to probably get some more and put them in his garage. He got Bubba to buy him one the other day. I think Bubba paid $200 for a OG 27 ounce. It doesn't have a lot of swings on it. Bubba paid $200 for it, and would gladly give that all day long. But if you guys got any 27s laying around, slip me an email or message me, and I'll pick it up from you. I'm looking for one more, and that's it. Thanks, guys.